African Union Communications, Early Warning, and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing on the progress of the special military operation as of January 2nd, 2026. In response to Ukraine's terrorist attacks on civilian targets in Russia, the armed forces of the Russian Federation carried out massive and six-group strikes with high-precision weapons, including hypersonic air-launched missiles, Dagger, as a result of which Ukrainian military industry enterprises, energy complex facilities that ensured their operation, transport and port infrastructure used in the interests of the armed forces of Ukraine, assembly shops for the production of components for missile engines, sites for the production of long-range unmanned strike aircraft and their preparation for launch, ammunition and fuel depots, as well as temporary deployment points of Ukrainian armed formations, nationalists and foreign mercenaries were hit. Units of the North Group of Forces inflicted a defeat on the manpower and equipment of two mechanized, one Jaeger, one airborne assault brigades, an assault regiment of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a territorial defense brigade, a National Guard brigade, and a border detachment of the Ukrainian Border Service. In total, in the area of responsibility of the North Group of Forces, the enemy lost over 1,305 servicemen, 2 combat armored vehicles, 91 vehicles, 5 field artillery guns, 6 electronic warfare stations, 10 ammunition depots, material and fuel. On the Kharkiv direction, formations of 4 mechanized, 2 motorized infantry brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and a National Guard brigade were defeated. In total, in the area of responsibility of the West Group of Forces, the enemy lost over 1,390 servicemen, 3 tanks, 19 combat armored vehicles, 102 vehicles, and 5 field artillery guns. 2 electronic warfare stations and 31 ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the South Group of Forces, through active actions, completed the liberation of the populated areas of Dubrova in the Donetsk People's Republic and Boguslavka in the Kharkiv region. On the Kupiansk direction, over the week, units of the 6th Army repelled 16 attacks of the armed forces of Ukraine aimed at breaking into the populated area of Kupiansk in the Kharkiv region. Over 180 militants and 30 units of military equipment were destroyed. In total, in the area of responsibility of the South Group of Forces, the losses of Ukrainian armed formations amounted to over 1,295 servicemen, 40 combat armored vehicles, 83 vehicles, and 15 field artillery guns. 7 electronic warfare stations and 13 ammunition and materiel depots were destroyed. Over the week, units of the Center Group of Forces, as a result of active actions, liberated the settlements of Dimitrov, Rodinsko, Artemovka, and Volnoy in the Donetsk People's Republic, defeated formations of 2 mechanized infantry Jaeger, 2 airborne assault, airdrop, assault brigades, 3 assault regiments of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, 2 Marine Infantry brigades, 2 Territorial Defense brigades, 4 National Guard brigades, and the Azov Special Forces Brigade. The enemy's losses in this direction amounted to more than 3,305 servicemen, 24 armored combat vehicles, 32 vehicles, 9 field artillery guns, and 2 electronic warfare stations. Units of the East Group of Forces continued to advance into the depth of the enemy's defenses and, as a result of decisive actions, liberated the settlement of Gulyai Pol in the Zaporizhia region, defeated personnel and equipment of 3 mechanized, 2 assault brigades, 4 assault regiments of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, a Marine Infantry brigade, and 2 territorial defense brigades. Over the week, in the area of responsibility of the East Group of Forces, the Armed Forces of Ukraine lost over 1,405 servicemen, 2 tanks, 24 armored combat vehicles, 60 vehicles, 7 field artillery guns, 5 ammunition and materiel depots were destroyed. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces actively liberated the settlements of Stepnogorsk and Lukyanovskoye in the Zaporizhia region. defeated formations of 2 mechanized, 1 mountain assault brigade, a coastal defense brigade of the armed forces of Ukraine, and a territorial defense brigade, over 365 servicemen of the armed forces of Ukraine, 3 armored combat vehicles, 57 vehicles, 6 field artillery guns, 12 electronic warfare stations, and 7 ammunition, materiel, and fuel depots were destroyed. The Russian aerospace forces shot down a Su-27 aircraft of the Ukrainian Air Force. The anti-aircraft defense system shot down 6 guided air bombs, 2 operational tactical missiles, Thunder, 3 rockets of the HIMARS multiple launch rocket system produced by the USA, and 1,762 unmanned aerial vehicles of the aircraft type. In total, since the beginning of the special military operation, the enemy has lost 670 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 106,879 unmanned aerial vehicles, 641 anti-aircraft missile systems, 26,845 tanks and other armored fighting vehicles, 1,634 MLRS combat vehicles, 32,332 field artillery guns and mortars, 50,625 units of support military vehicles. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.